I know what you're thinking, this video sounds like it doesn't make sense, but yes, should you introduce your friends to secondhand? Watch this video and I'm going to explain it. How's it going? In 2012, I started my own website called Gully Garms. It was all about vintage and secondhand streetwear and stuff like that. And last year, sadly, I had to close it and reopen it under a smaller capacity. And now I'm here on 2024, on YouTube, should I say as well, giving value and dropping game on what I've learned since 2012. And today I want to talk about introducing friends to secondhand. And this isn't a question to say should you or how to. This is a question about what to do when you're introducing friends to secondhand. Now I'll tell you straight off the bat, I've got friends, even at this point after 12 years, some friends through different points in life that buy fast fashion. Can I really comment on somebody else for buying fast fashion? No. Can I try and help educate them without patronizing? Yes. When I say introducing friends to secondhand, I'm not directly just talking to people who buy fast fashion and you're trying to introduce them about it. But what I want to do is I want to use this topic to look at how do we actually introduce people to secondhand, or how do we encourage people, should I say, to buy secondhand. The two main things are information and affordability. So firstly, information. What do you know about secondhand? How can you encourage somebody to buy or be influenced by? And it's with information. You might have a friend that loves buying Zara, but you see loads of things on Depop that you know they would love. And I know that one of the things that might get in the way of introducing a friend to secondhand is if their opinion of secondhand is that it's all manky old stuff and that it's just set for the bin. Because that's genuinely what people think. And I know people who have that same thought, despite the fact I tell them most time about secondhand and sustainability. And the reason why those people buy fast fashion still is because they don't want to be told what to buy. And it's the same way, your friends don't want to be told what they should buy, but the introduction side of things is where we come into the curiosity side. You might have friends that have never really got into secondhand or they've never really been sure of it. As you start to learn more and the information you generate about your experience will help you probably have better conversations about secondhand to those friends. And I guess one of the main things as well is affordability. I know that when we look at this, and it's not a comparison for fast fashion versus secondhand, fast fashion offers an incredibly affordable market that's incompetable. Some of the prices that Shein and Boohoo and PLT have are unbelievable in comparison to what you could charge at secondhand. However, the narrative I want to get through the affordability of the secondhand market is that there is a lot of affordability, and that is something that you can introduce friends to. Now I know most people in the world know what secondhand is, and they are not stupid, and they don't need you to make them feel even more stupid. But when we introduce friends to secondhand, I think the main thing is about the presentation with what it is that we're trying to introduce. You might have seen a really cool drop of some pieces from one of your favorite stores and you're like, mate, look at these are sick. And I don't know the conversations, but there's people out there that genuinely would never look on a vintage site and they will just sit on places like Zara, Pull & Bear and all that sort of nonsense. And this is obviously directed to the people that are encouraged and intrigued by secondhand and sustainability and the vintage ecosystem. And if you are, then the information and the affordability are the two main factors that you can use to kind of influence friends to buy or get into it. One really easy way to get friends into secondhand is to go charity shopping. That is like the go-to thing to introduce anybody who's never bought secondhand or been interested by it. Because you literally go to a charity shop, you see lots of items and you just get a feel for what people are giving away. Again, the charity shop situation is pretty complex, so stick about, I'm going to break that down at some point in different videos. But it might be on Patreon, so you might have to pay £4.50 for 3 videos a month. Link is down below as well. Charity shops, great way of getting into it. There's a bit of stigma that people that haven't been to a charity shop before that will go, oh, it smells, it's all old stuff. But you're going to have to face the stigma when you introduce friends to secondhand, because unfortunately that stigma sits very strong in anything secondhand, and a lot of it can be broken down, but it's a real work in progress. Take your friend that's never been to a charity shop, and when they go, just question everything if you wanted to. I always think when everybody gives me a problem with a question, I just invert it. Someone might say, why would I want to wear something that somebody else has worn? My question would be, why wouldn't you want to wear something that somebody else has worn? One of the greatest ways to break down the stigma for secondhand, a free little tip for you guys, ask people if they go to a restaurant and use the knife and fork. Because those knives and forks have been in other people's mouths, they had no question or qualms putting that in their mouth. So the same thing with secondhand clothing. Even though the food's even worse. But I'm not trying to make you not go to your favorite restaurant because of that. But that's just to make you think things can be cleaned, things can be restored. This one went a little bit round the twist on some of the topics, but this one is just me wanting to break down the way that you can encourage friends, the way that you can introduce friends to secondhand, because I think the way that we introduce people who aren't familiar or they are new to it is the most important part of it. and lots of other videos, I can kind of explain how somebody could have one bad experience on a third-party website and never buy again. And it sort of sits with how we talk to customers and things. Charity shops, kilo sales, car boots, they're the best places to try and introduce your friend to secondhand. Let me know how you get on. Drop a comment down below. I'm super intrigued to know if anybody has any friends that don't buy secondhand and what the reason is for why they don't. Breaking down the reason, breaking down the stigma, and then getting them to be intrigued by it as well as we all are. Guys, as always, stay safe, stay sustainable, stay original, keep doing you, keep encouraging them friends that buy Zara and Pull & Bear and all that rubbish that they shouldn't, and they should try secondhand because it will last longer, because it's products that have been around for longer and have survived the test of time. Guys, see you next time.